Kimbo, Natata nZambi Yama Zulu, Bayeti Nkosi, Kimbo, hallelujah, Zulu Vuvamu, Nsambulolo. This is your brother, Trey Oketiwi Solele, coming before you once again. I give greetings to all the Bantus and non-Bantus. Please forgive the noise. Hold on, forgive the noise. We have a visitor, a usual visitor, and he's anxious to be here. I'm here to do this video because, it's weird because I was gonna do it last night, but I wasn't so sure. I kind of hesitated, and I see that there's already been a video up from Thoughts Camera Action. It's gonna be interesting to see how it happens with his channel, but I'm sure he's not gonna reveal the same stuff that I'm about to reveal. So I haven't watched it, so don't say I'm copying anybody. I haven't watched anybody's video about it. I know that YouTube is going to be on the strike alert, so I'm going to be careful with my words because I know what I'm about to say will be very much a channel attack possibility. But I will say that it's something that now when I'm seeing, I saw the Most High always said, you never seen the big picture. Now I'm seeing the bigger picture, okay? We were always taught to see the little things, and that's why they kept you locked into your little world. It was all about putting you into your own world so you didn't see the big picture. And so this is going to be a message. I want to say Dumalong, Salbona, and all praises to Tata nZambi and Pungo Tulendo for the way he is doing what he is doing. I did catch some teachings today. Enjoyed what Pastor Miller was bringing. So we will, hopefully soon we will be doing a video because he says that we need to have a discussion. I said, I'm ready, so hopefully that will come. So we are, I want to say once again, I honor Kuswa Kongo, Isaiah. I honor the Monan Velela, Monan Semi. I honor the 24 elders. I honor the 12 tribes of Solele, the Abafundi, the righteous. Okay, hold on. Shh. Sorry for the noise. We weren't expecting him. So now, let's get into this. So we know this variant is going around the world. And now for those who have been paying close attention, that we know that there's a movie that was released back in 1963 about it. It had the same name. And I had the chance to watch the movie, and that movie alone, as with the abilities that the Most High has given to me, I was able to understand what is going on, okay? So let's go back to the child of Revelations 12, Simon Toko, Mayamona, Senor, and let's break it down what actually took place. Is we are now, this is basically, and also with Kimbangu and Potty, Yaya did a great video on that. I watched it. And of course, I'm going to tell you something about the Jehovah's Witnesses. And if you want to know, this is why in many ways they became the stepchild of the Freemasons. And I'm going to tell you what happened there. It all has to do with their interaction with Mayamona, the things that he was doing, and what they did in America, which in reality is what escalated the race war, in all honesty, because I know he was speaking in Portuguese, but once you translated it into English, boy, um, it was they knew it was gonna be a great impact on Bantus in the Americas. And that was one of the things that was decreed by Pope John the 22nd, I believe, 20, yeah, where he said that no one, I don't know, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. He said no one was supposed to discuss anything about Mayamona. That the knowledge of him was to remain a secret. Okay. Um, you know, there was this secrecy regarding who he was. No one was supposed to know. There was all the things that the Kabbalah did to silence him and to silence Kimbangu and to silence Padi as well. And of course, the various things that were done to scare people into not revealing things. One of the things, of course, we're witnessing now, thanks to the Tokoist youth, is we're seeing now the Tokoist youth who have taken the mantle to finish what really the assembly was supposed to be doing, was to get the message out to everybody in the world, which for the United States, that was a big problem. This is why when we start talking about him, everybody's sitting here like, this can't be true, this can't be right, who is this guy? Even though his message was broadcasted in New York, the Jehovah's Witnesses actually disobeyed something that was supposed to take place. They weren't supposed to be broadcasting this man. And so this is how you can tell that the nZambi can still work even with those who really are still doing what they shouldn't, because now they basically began to recognize exactly what many people were worried about in their belief. But of course, they had many people start to take over their belief to keep them dumbed down. You know, this is why they needed people like Michael Jackson and others, you know, that they were out there, but they didn't tell the full truth. Okay. To mislead the concept of idolatry. Now, let's go back to what was going on in the 1960s and of course the 1950s. Okay. But what many Bantu or Black people don't know is what really triggered the events that would now come to pass was what happened in Angola in 1949, July 25th, I believe that's what the date was, when the Mwanda Velila fell upon Africa. Now, of course, this was obviously something that the caught the secret societies and everybody else off guard. They weren't anticipating this event. They knew something was on the works, but they didn't quite know what the Most High was doing, because he doesn't reveal that. And as we now know, for those of us who are woke, this is the biggest issue as America has ever, and this is even broadcast by even J. Edgar Hoover. He was always afraid of Black unity, which you have to ask the question, why? What does it matter to you if we unify? Well, that was the problem. Black unity there was an issue because they knew who we were, but you didn't. Okay. So the intent was the fear of Simon Toko is he would unify Bantus or Black people across the world. Okay. Because of his abilities, because of what he did, because of the fact that they knew he was changing the landscape of what had been taught, they were like, we can't risk the problem that's going to come with this. Okay. And I'm going to show you what's, I mean, as a matter of fact, it even fits into this chapter of 2nd Ezra. What Toko did is similar to what the Most High prophesied about. It's going to be a future event that would include what Toko was doing. Now, you can tell we're dealing with the Old English spelling, where in this particular spelling, there's no letter J. So that's why we keep trying to say his name was never Jesus. It was Jesus in the Latin. That's why I keep trying to say it's Jesus is a Latin name. So why we still keep, okay? Now, the second book of the prophet Ezra, the son of Sariah, it's really Sariah, not Sarias. The son of Azariah, okay, the son of Hezekiah, the son of Sadamiah. See, this is how you know they changed the words. Sadamias, no, it's Sadamiah, because the S is gone. Because they keep adding the S because they want to hide things, remember? The son of Sadak, the son of Akitob, the son of Akia. See, this is Akia. When you take the S off, it's pronounced Akia. Okay, the son of Fini, the son of Heli, the son of Amaria, the son of Azai, the son of Marima, the son of Arna, the son of Osiah, the son of Borit, the son of Abisi, the son of Fini, the son of Eliezer. The son of Aaron, the tribe of Levi. This is how you get the Levi from, because it's a U. This is how you could tell it's the Malawi. See that? Malayi? Because this is not a V. Which was captive, but of course, this is how they used to write the V. See, it says captive in the land of the Medes, the reign of Artaxerxes, the king of the Persians. Remember, boy, this is when we got put in that captivity with this is Xerxes. Then we fought and whooped him. And the word of Tata nZambi came unto me saying, remember what the word is. Go back to Genesis, go back to what it even says in the book of Peter, okay, or book of John, the beginning of John 3:16. No, it's in, hold on. I think I always forget, I get them mixed up because one says God so loved the world. It's Yokana 1:1. Okay, it says in the beginning was the word. So now this is why we keep trying to say Yesaya is in the Old Testament. Yesaya is in the Old Testament. Kuswa is in the Old Testament with Tata nZambi. Because remember, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with Tata nZambi, and the word was Tata nZambi, and the word became flesh. So this is why when you keep trying to tell these people, oh no, this is a fake Messiah that they made up, you know, these people acting like Pharisees and Sadducees, okay? No, they buying into the same thing that they are taught by those who are in Judaism. No, the Messiah didn't come. The Old Testament is all there is, and they don't even realize you're being deceived, okay? Because it's saying, and the word of Tata nZambi came unto me saying. So remember, when the word comes to you, it is in the form of a what? Messenger. This is going to be there's a Most High don't leave his throne. This is a Maleki. This is what they don't understand. This is a Maleki coming, an angel coming, a person representing the word. Who represents the word? This is the spirit. Okay, this is the Mwandan Velela coming to as second Ezra, to Ezra. Go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. And this is exactly why you can say Toko was doing the same things. So he also embodied the spirit of Ezra. Because the Most High, the same thing he told Ezra, he told it to Ezra, he told the same thing to Toko. Let these people know what's going on. Who are they? What's the real representation when he was revealing things? This is why we try to say, if you're a person of the Mwandan Semi, then you speak to all of those with the Mwandan Semi. So you can call upon anybody who has the Mwandan Semi. And anybody who has the Mwandan Semi can become a messenger to you. Even the Malekis. Okay? This is when we talk about ancestry, the righteous ancestry, by the way, not the wicked ones. That they may tell the children of children, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. And this is why I want to pull up this picture. Who is that? Who is this? This is where the name was first called for the one that you call Santa Claus. Oops, sorry. The little one's here. He's still working his way out. Trying not to do it, but you know how it goes. Family arguments. It says, Santa Claus wishes you a merry Yule. You ever heard the Yule tide? You ever heard Michael Jackson sing it? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. You got cross nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols. Yuletide carols. Okay, this was the original name, S-I-N, which we know what that means, Terclaus. Okay, this is why the secret societies know that Santa Claus is Odin. When Odin is Nimrod, one-eyed God. Okay, so we go back to what he's saying. This is what we are doing now as Bana Betu of Yusolele. Okay, oh, come on, I got the line up. Okay, it says, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods. Now remember, this is what happened when Toko was explaining and Kimbangu was explaining the fall of the kingdom of Congo to the Bantu people. Okay, sorry about the noise. This is exactly what he was trying to get across. Okay, we erred, and he was trying to get us to come back through the real teachings. Now, of course, everybody that he found was in Christianity, which is why he couldn't get extravagant with his teachings. Okay, even though he knew that this was all done through Nimrod by Simon the sorcerer. So now let's get back to what I'm talking about in my topic is this is the end game against the rise of the global Tokoists or the global teachers of Tata nZambi, those who are being awakened. This is against the Bantus, okay? And this is where you get this variant from. because the plan was already in the works from the 1950s. The contingency plan to fight the global awakening of the Bantus. The unification, okay? This is why when you listen to what the Ghanaian president said, that this was something that was being planned. And then if you listen to what Toko was talking about, okay, of course the Most High allows certain things because he knew he was going to start punishing the wicked. But at the same time, the plot or the sinister plot was we need to deal with these people before they get started. So this program, and it's funny because the movie was based out of Rome, okay? And it tells you basically the concept behind it was being possessed, okay? The guy was talking about being possessed in the movie. And sure behold, they used the concept of aliens. Okay, if you get a chance to watch the movie, there's an English version. I'll try to put the link in my inbox before I post it, where it has the ability to use the subtitles. But when you watch it, you'll get it. If you really are woke, if you have the spirituality. That the reason why, and it's funny, like I said, it came out 2 months before they killed Kennedy. And now I know more about what happened there. This protocol was the Vatican's last-ditch effort to fight the rise of those who knew Simon Toko, who know about Simon Toko. So here's the thing. You have this person, and this fits into the scripture. What you're experiencing is the continuation of Revelations 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman with the sun and the moon under her feet, upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Okay, we know the story about Fatima, for those who choose to believe in it. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Okay. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, behold, the great dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. Now, this is why, even as I was discussing it, we cannot keep talking about how old or young or whatever the universe or stars are, because the stars are the Malakis. So they are as old as when the Most High made them. When the Most High called them into existence, that's how long they've been here. Okay? This is why we got to be really careful as people. And I'm not, criticizing any one person. This is across the board. The scientific knowledge that we have received is ancient Babylonian concepts. They just won't tell you that, because the reason why they want to teach the universe and all the things the way they have taught it to us is to hide the fact that the stars are the angels. This is what the devil, he's trying to disconnect us from our creator. That was the whole purpose of how they wanted to teach things, even through the different religions that when they did things. Muhammad had intentions to not let us know who the stars are. That's why they created the certain type of science that they did. This is what the Egyptians were misled about. This is what the Babylonians were misled about. And this is why you got scientists teaching you, oh, it's gas, dust, burning gas. Okay. This is Luciferian talk, people. The Most High is showing you the angels and the earth and the angels. The angels precede the earth because they were the stars, and the earth came after it. Okay, when he spoke the earth into existence. Okay, and of course, the first angel, Malaki, he came into existence was the cherub y'all call Lucifer. Okay, So this is why you're saying he drew a third of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman and was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Tata nZambi and to his throne. So now, let me explain something to you. The Tokoists or Simon Toko or those who believe in him, okay, this is the threat because they now know who he was. We are finishing what he was called to do. We are ruling, we are now doing, he was called to rule over nations. And see, this is why when they try to tell him what he was going to do and not going to do, he said, no, I'm not going to do that. Because he was given the authority over them. And this is what they didn't like. And when they would tell him, oh, you're going to stay in Portugal, he says, no, I won't. Because he was ruling over them. And he knew this. But he did it in such a way that they didn't recognize the fact that he was given the authority of the earth. So then what happened was when the Jehovah's Witness realized who he was, and wanted to bring him to America, that was a big no-no. They're like, I don't think so. Because he will cause so many problems with what we have set up here that people will lose it, especially us. And this is where you get the whole contingency about what became Operation Mockingbird is part of Omicron, Operation Mongoose. Okay, yes, that's part of it too. The UMK Ultra, because see, when I listened to the movie, the guy was from Planet Ultra. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, I'm like, say what? This is all about the mind control thing. And of course, when the dude, and I won't give it away too much in the movie, but his mind was controlled. Okay. And I don't want to say too much. I don't want to be a spoiler if you haven't ever seen it. But the point was, it was the concept that we soon would no longer be our own people. And in the movie, it tells you the entire process to how the world operates today. They gave you the secret in there. And funny thing was, like I said, it's 2 months before they killed Kennedy after he gave his secret society speech. Okay. Now, what happened here? They knew, and this is why January 4th is significant, because when we saw what happened in the Kingdom of Congo that has been now revealed to us as the Freedom Liberation Day, this, what they're planning on doing next month, is the start of the payback for that. Believe you me, okay? And it's already starting by saying that this variant came out of South Africa, which is not now a surprise that they did that, because of the significance of what South Africa really represents to many people that don't know. Okay. And that alone should tell you where the children of Isolele went. Because look what they started. They started the Endgame from there, from the something that they had already planned since the 1950s, actually. Okay. So let's go into it. The Malekis, they see Simon Toko as a threat. Well, of course, Shetani, all the stuff they had created through their people, especially the Kabbalah, that was a big problem. And the world was not allowed. This is why you're going to get, this is why even when Toko started talking about the mania of saved by grace through faith, this is why you get a lot of these Masonic preachers that started preaching and escalating their teachings in the evangelical circle. Okay. because of their awareness that they could not let people know the child of Revelation 12 is here. Because that was something, because the dragon says he would continue to pursue him. So this, what you're experiencing, is the continuation of that and the offspring of the woman. I told you we are born, this is where the biggest lie we've been told. We come through, the children of Isolele come through the similar spirit that Isaiah came from. Of course, we have a father and mother of how we came through, okay? But this is what has made us different. When the Most High made the deal with Abana, our children were supposed to be a separate offspring from the entire world. This is why he talks about how the other nations are born through the harlot, especially Babylon, okay? That's why we resonated differently. That's why we have a different level. We have a different spirit. But we wanted to be like them. We wanted to lower ourselves when we were already higher. So the Most High said, well, if you want to keep going down lower, go down lower. That's what he did. Because he said, I have no idea why you have chosen not to recognize me. Okay? Because we had abilities, we had power, we had wealth, we had status, we had prestige, we had all of these things. But we always wanted to be like the other nations, which he said is like, this makes no sense. You're supposed to be leading and guiding these people, not wanting to be like them. Okay? And that is he said, their God is Lucifer. Why do you want to be with Lucifer? See, that's what they don't understand. Their God was always Lucifer. He said, why do you want to be with them? Teach them to come away from him. Okay? So now, when you have the band that was starting to help us with this, they're saying, hey, come away from the harlot. Okay? And the three men, I should say. Actually, there was four, my apologies. They started to preach this, hey, come out of the harlot. And they were like, no, because we want, the agenda was Africa had the wealth and they wanted it. Okay? And they wanted to make sure that we were controlled, that they would give it to us. So they kept teaching us. That's why I keep trying to say the education that we were given was taught backwards to hide certain things, especially from their own. You see, you got to understand, and this has always been the case with every civilization, especially with white people. They have always had a brotherhood that kept them in the dark. Always. That the ones that they knew the truth and they were teaching lies. That never stopped just because they assimilated into what come the belief in the Most High. They did not want that concept to be taken away. And this is what created the many scuffles between the beliefs, okay, of the seven assemblies. It's like, no, we're supposed to be following the truth. And they're like, no, we want to maintain power. This is better off to be on top through the way they wanted to manipulate people, the same way they had always been. Okay? So now they wanted, as the Most High shocked and stunned them with the arrival of this person, it's like we can't lose control. So anybody, and this man, you're gonna have to understand, this is gonna go back to many of the things that even happened that people are talking about that the news was gonna hide. Anybody that was going to alert people that this individual was coming to be, because I know when he was born, he was made, they didn't know they knew where he was, but they didn't know exactly where he was, that this was the intent, that anybody, they were trying to destroy any and everyone that they could possibly get their hands on, where they might find him. So this is where you're getting so many of the deaths, especially of Black people, and also what happened with Hitler and all this stuff, that they don't want to tell you. Okay? So as he pointed out in the book Maimona, the people in the Jews lost their lives because of him. Because the fallen angels were like, we don't want this dude around. We got to find this guy. But they didn't realize the Most High was slick like that. He said, I'm not putting them among the people you think. I'm putting them among the people who are the people. Okay? And so when this came about, now it was like, uh-oh, we can't let this get out. Okay? And this is why even Toko got into the argument with the Jehovah's Witness who failed to do their job. But even so, they made him even more mad by allowing him to be broadcast, because the Most High, he used them to make it happen, to announce this, he made it to where in the city of the harlot of Babylon, it was announced that the child of revelation was here. And that ticked off the Vatican to the point where they really went after the Jehovah's Witness, for sure. I'm sure they won't give you the details of it. This is why they started getting a really bad name among all the beliefs of Christianity, okay? And why they forbade any other belief or denomination to even talk about it. And if you did, you lost your life, or you were thrown in jail, or they would expose you for whatever type of schemes you were in, okay? And this is where Kennedy had a problem. He's like, I don't understand this. This person needs to be known. And they're like, what? You see? Obviously, he's somebody special, but he didn't understand the significance. He wakes up these people, we have a riot on our hands. The religion, all the religions we teach will now go by the wayside. And this was the intent behind eventually what would become the Bay of Pigs incident. They set that up and try to say, oh, Castro, whatever. No, man. He was part of the game because they knew who the Bantus were on his island. They wanted to persecute them. Why do you think they chose that place? Because of the name Cuba. Yakuba. Okay? To do this thing. Okay. Because they could have said, oh, we'll bring nuclear vessels into Mexico, or, it's just, you don't ever think about that. And see, that's the reality. Was the intent we're now seeing is this is why history can be fabricated to the point where they control what you think, because they understood the times were changing. They knew it was the end of the age of Esau when they recognized that this person had shown up. So now, here's a couple things that happened. And this is going to really shake up even the Tokoists and the Kimbanguists. There was a plan of infiltration that was created. And this is why Toko even spoke about those elders who were bad, who said they needed to be removed. Why do you think they're bad? Because they were Judases. Okay. So one of the things that transpired with him when he left is, sadly, as I've now learned, the devil put many different masqueraders everywhere, including around the Tokoists. And they did it, he even did it in the form of either membership, or they did it in the form of politicians. Okay? Because the intent was to not allow his method. And so even though they spoke to in Europe and other places as they have grown into, okay, The issue was, this is all the reason why you had to create wars in Angola and other places, because they didn't want people to unify in Africa, because this is what was starting to happen. Unification was becoming a reality. And the CIA was like, I don't think so. Because and so was the Kabbalah. Okay. So this plan they came up with was to destroy the Bana Betu completely, knowing that once and for all, we must wipe out these people because of the invisible act that they're going to overcome us. And this was the whole point. Okay. So they came up with various plans that was symbolic of their codes to destroy us. And one of them was this Omicron. So now it is I'm not going to deny it is what they say it is, and more. Okay. The intent of it is they have now succeeded. Why they made this code come out is the intent to succeed in the cutting off of the nation from the Most High. Okay. So now you will become another spirit, another spiritual person than someone who speaks to the Creator. Because see, the problem is we have been misled as to what means the word virus means. Virus is something that infiltrates your body. Well, this is what demonic possession or demonic or dis-ease, as it comes from, dis-ease. As you go to the Testament of Solomon, it talks about they cause dis-ease when he was talking to the fallen angels, the demons, of the different ailments that they cause. Okay. Well, this is part of it. Okay. You are now been brought into the beginning and the unification of the beast system through the intent to stop the Exodus. Okay. Now, why is this significant? Because anybody who is anybody right now knows that our success in this awakening as Bana Betu, as Bakongo, is their demise. Anybody who knows who's in the know, okay? The success of the Bantu awakening, the Bakongo awakening, is their demise. And our Yaya, you know, he came and he said that as we get closer to the end, Shaitani gets stronger. Well, this is it. This is the war, people. We are in a battle because he doesn't want to get chained, and we don't want to stay the bottom anymore. Okay? But our rise is his fall. Period. And all those that are affiliated with him in secret. Okay? This is why we say he playing both sides to keep you distracted so that he doesn't, so those who were supposed to rise don't rise. So the contingency plan was when we reach the critical stages of really getting Simon Toko's message out there that was never supposed to be known in North America and in Asia and South and other places that hadn't gotten to the Tokos. I know they've gone to Iraq, you know, I know they've been places, but not everybody really knew. Okay. This is the issue because they're now realizing, because the contingency plan was when he said they were becoming more just like me. They were like, oh, you better believe we're going to try to stop that. Okay. This is now your MK Ultra. This is what started it. This is now your Operation Mockingbird, control the media, okay? This is now your Operation Mongoose, which technically has never stopped. It just keeps changing locations. Mongoose has nothing to do with the Soviet Union ever. That's the lie. It is about a protocol to keep Yakubi sleep, to sneak around, and this is where you get King Alfred. King Alfred was introduced, and they're like, their role was to monitor anybody who was showing signs of a Simon type Toko person. And Malcolm was beginning to demonstrate that as he started to realize who Simon Toko was. And his job was to make sure, and this is why you kind of say, oh, well, he had a beef with a lot. That was all set up. They like to create the chaos within any religion. But where he failed was he didn't stop what was being brought out. He mentioned Congo, and they said, you just broke the code, dude. You ain't supposed to be talking about that. And that was it for him. And of course, when King said the mountaintop, which was the Mount Sione, that was another code. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Because he was talking about Mount Sione, and they were like, that was the secret. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is the Most High has ways of working even with people who are on the other side to try to get to you, to help you understand certain things. Okay. And when Kennedy was told, you got to keep this stuff secret, he's like, the words, that's why he said the word secrecy is repugnant in a land that is supposed to be of freedom. You know, when he did his speech. And those secret societies, you know, and they were like, what? They were like, oh, now he gone. For sure, they were like, he's gone, you know, because in the reality was people didn't understand what he meant by that speech. He was talking about Simon Toko. He was talking about the truth about the Bana Betu. He was talking about what Malcolm was saying, but in the proper context, he was like, hey, I can't tell you, but the people who are calling themselves the people are not telling you the truth. And the people who are your servants. And he knew this. And this was the issue he had with the Vatican, to say, shut up, don't talk about this guy. He knew who he was. I mean, he's the president of the United States. He's one of the kings. He's part of the Illuminati families. And then he was like, they were like, no, shut up. You can't tell. And he talked about, oh, the CIA lied to him. Do you know what they lied about? And this is the point. They lied about the agenda, about the real reason why they started the war with communism. That's what they lied about. Okay. This is how dangerous it was for people to learn the truth, that they would blow up churches, which they did. And then they blamed it on, you know, they called it race war, that they would sick dogs on people, that they would lynch people, that anybody that was daring to, this is why they created the, you know, people are going to get shocked when they find out that many of the things of the race war, the people who died were selected in many cases. They didn't just randomly go lynch a person until after the fact. They did occasionally, but mostly the person that was chosen was called the lynch. It was a sacrifice by those who have already given their lives over to Moloch. Okay. And the reality is, it's still happening today, right now. Those who want to maintain their status and keep these secrets so that they can have a position in the world. And the Most High is trying to tell them that's not important. This is Mystery Babylon. All the works of Mystery Babylon are in vain. Okay, this is you're under the spell of the obelisk, and anyone else who is affiliated with that symbol. That's why you can't always say that every Native Americans with all Hebrew. No, man, that's not true. There were always those who worshiped the sun god, always, and they were Gentile nations. And they knew the difference between those who were not worshiping that sun god as much. Okay, that they didn't always want to do that. And that's the reality of the situation, is that the world, the world is experiencing now the transition to this process under the guise of secrecy, so that they can't tell you, oh yeah, we really work for the false Messiah. They ain't gonna come out and tell you that till the Most High forces it. Okay, they've shown you hints, signs, wonder, whatever, and you just took it. Okay, but nobody paid attention. They just listened to what they were told, and they were controlled in what they were saying, and they were programmed to believe what they believe. Okay, and all the while they were working against you behind closed doors. Because like I've always said, they don't care about their own people. They're expendable to them. They only care about making sure they stay on top and we stay on the bottom. So they make these contingency plans to make sure that the system runs in that direction, and anybody who wants to reveal it, they suffer the consequences. When they start to catch on, wait a minute, what's wrong? That's why I remember watching, like I said, there was that congressman lady. I don't even know what they did to her. She stood up in Congress and said, what is the matter with you people? Don't you have any type of conscience? And she could see there was something wrong with it, with what the stuff they were doing. But it's like, shh, man, you can't, get her out of here and get the programming back on. She started to wake up and say, oh my gosh, what are we doing? You see, this lady figured, she's like, it's funny how that leaked, because there were other people saying, we've been thinking the same thing, but we keep our mouth shut. Okay. You don't understand. Congress is very much controlled out of fear of what will happen to them if they talk. Yeah, your government is afraid of people. Your president, your Congress, your Supreme Court, celebrities, your athletes, they're always living in the fear of, if I reveal what I know. And then there are those who say, you know what, I'm gonna take the risk, because the Most High Spirit prevails over them and lets them do. Or they actually use them as the scapegoat to help tell truths, and they're like the sacrifice, or you're gonna tell them the truth and then you're gonna go. Because that's how they set stuff up too. You're gonna go ahead and say this so that, and people will you're gonna cause chaos, but it's the truth. And then we're gonna attack you, and then this and that, and it'll be done. But we've done our part to bring the truth out. That's what they do. Okay. That's the concept of what they're doing now. Okay. Is the reality is they have now gotten everybody, or most everybody, where they want them. And now it's the end game. It is the end game. And this is why we come now to the bottom of this scripture. Now that it's time that we're dealing with this dragon, it says now has come to salvation and strength in the kingdom of our Tata nZambi, the power of Kuswa, for the accuser of our brethren cast down that accused them before Tata nZambi day and night. And see, this is what his name really means. Accuser is what Shaitani or Satan means. You go before trial of Tata nZambi, he's going to accuse you of all of your sins. They're tired of him sitting up there doing this. Because remember, it's the accuser of our brethren. Who are the brethren of the Amalekis? Think about that. Who are the brethren? Those who the Most High are chosen, his people. But see, this is the deception. Oh, when I'm adopted as a son, the angels are my brethren. Okay. Do they really know you? Because they will interact with those they know. Like literally interact with those they know. They will reveal. That's why they said this awakening is the fact that they were like, finally, it's time for us to help these people get it. Because the Most High was like, it ain't time, it's not time yet. Yeah, I did a little so-and-so here, a little so-and-so here, but it's not time yet. And then when the time hit, oh boy, we gotta launch this now. Because now they're gonna be coming out the woodworks, and that's exactly what happened. They thought they had everybody dumbed down with all of the contingencies that they had created with the distractions and all that. And they thought they had all the people pretty much on lockdown or running for their lives that were not going to reveal too much. But they underestimated. This is the creator we're talking about here. You can't stop him. Okay? And so now, as they see the transition of power flowing, and the veil is coming down, the contingency plan is now in effect. Cut them off, those who did what we told them to do. And this goes into, right? This is why they had to tell people, it's not the market to be, it's not, none of that. Let's go. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast ride out of the sea. And the sea does not always mean the water, because remember, in the Catholic Church, it's called the Holy Sea. Okay, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon the heads the name of blasphemy. I don't care how much attack I get from anybody that wants to call it. Okay, you're in the Catholic Church, you're being represented by the one that's blaspheming the Creator. Period. Okay, you don't want to believe that? Hey, that's on you. But I'm telling you, now that they have now unified all the religions into one, it's going to become very obvious when they start conditioning you to it. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was the feet of the bear, and his mouth the mouth of a lion. And the dragon came and gave him power. Gave him power. So if the dragon gave him power and his seat and great authority, what does that mean? Excuse me. What does that mean? It means he gave him dominion over his kingdom. He said, now you unify my children. This is what happened, people. Just not too long ago. He came in and started to unify, and now they are on one confederacy against Isolele. And I saw the head as the one that were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world running after the beast. We know about that. And they that worship the dragon, which gave power, and see, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So how does the dragon get power? Worship. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And see, here's where they have deceived you forever. Is Yokana is seeing that this is the church of Laodicea. And this is one of the reasons why they didn't want revelations in it, but the Most High fought that it stayed in there. You know, he used some of his, there's some of our people that were working to keep it in there, that he worked, because they would realize that at some point they're going to figure out that this is us. But we're going to have to play it down like, oh no, see, we worship, we work for the creator. They know Yokana's talking about them right here. Okay, they know this, but this is why they had to read the scriptures to you and interpret it the way that they wanted you to interpret, so that they remain hidden, because you did not have the discernment of the Holy Spirit as they had made you think. Or else you would recognize, hey, this Pope dude, he's blaspheming by the way his title alone is blasphemy. Holy Father? You don't ever call. Isaiah said that. Don't ever put anybody in that position. Hello? And there was given to him speaking great things and blasphemy and power given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months, okay, which is the time frame we're in now. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Tata nZambi, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in the heaven. This is why they don't like us using the name Congo. This is why they have blasphemed that name in the movies. In Vietnam, Viet Cong, not Congo. In, you know, other Hong Kong. Okay, they don't say the name, and they put a C for the country. Okay, what is his tabernacle? This is why they made Bantu people an abomination, desecration, a laughing stock, because you became, he saw this. He knew that you would become, with this scripture, the laughing stock of the nations, and they desecrated Bantu people's tabernacle. They desecrated Isolele. And they desecrated, and that's how they desecrate them in the heavens, because now we don't connect to the people in the heavens. He blasphemed. That's why he changed the name of Michael the Archangel. He changed the name of all the angels to something that is not. The way you blaspheme, he changed our names to call us something that we're not. And it was given unto him to make war with this. Now let me share something with you. Pay close attention. It was given unto him to make war with the saints. So Tata nZambi, Yah Kongo, gave him permission to attack us and to overcome them. So this is what we're running into now. Okay? And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So this is why you see many of us turning or being turned because of this war. Because they don't want to fight it with him no more. That's what they were doing. They're like, I don't want to fight this war with you. I'll just come to your side. Because this is what he was doing. Okay? And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship, and say, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. And this, okay, is the issue. because there are those who think their name is written in the book and they are worshiping the beast. This is why now listen what it says, from the foundation of the earth. So this is why we're telling you, the Most High who chose you knew that you were going to come from the foundation of before the foundation of earth was laid, that you were going to be written in the book for those of us who know the real truth, who are written in the book. This is why he said, and this is exactly what happened with the Tokoists, and many of us who are now going to be dealing with this. He said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, which means, okay, and they say, oh, this made us soft. This made Bantus. No, okay. This is what the Most High is trying to show you. You have more power and authority than they that don't know what they do. This is why Toko was like, he could have easily wiped out how many people just by one Maliki call. He demonstrated that when they came to Congo. Okay. Here is the patience, and that's why he says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, because Tata nZambi saying, you will go into captivity, you will be killed by the sword. So you must not lose your patience and faith as you go to war with the beast. See, the New Testament, yes, there's alterations. The Old Testament has alterations, okay? But what we're trying, but to see the way they trick you is the context of this scripture. The saints is the problem. And this is how, as they do their sacrifices now, they try to push it like, oh, Christianity is under attack. We are the saints. We are the ones that they want to kill. Okay? Well, this doesn't make any sense because there's over 2 billion people of you. There's only over 2 billion of you, and you're still alive. You're not running for your life in your own land, wherever you are all the time. Oh yeah, you go to these countries. Do you know what's happening there? That's the point. You don't, when you hear these stories on the news, you don't know what's going on. The leaders of these assemblies who are part of this, the deception, they control what you hear. So you don't know what really happened. But you believe it. Oh, because my country wouldn't lie to me. The news wouldn't lie to me. Come on. This is all the point of deception since the 1950s. Your brain has been fried since the 1950s. That is the whole reason for the stupid television, to control the way you see reality. And it's all scripted. Okay, that's why they have to write a script, even for the news people. And they want you to read it and don't go out. And when you go off script, that's a problem, because what do? Unless it was organized that way, you're going to inadvertently wake somebody up. Okay, and they don't want that. Now, this, what we're going into now, and we kind of said, when I saw that, I said, this was the plan all along since before the 1800s. And I'm telling you, that's how long it's been since they've been planning this. Okay. When they started that process of us coming into the possibility of us becoming awoke after the end of the slavery period, they did not want us to become unified. So you created this separate versus equal concept. You cheated people out of the 40 acres and the mule. As we began to unify ourselves, you always had someone that was playing a Judas. What are those guys up to? What are they doing? Oh, no. See, we got to get y'all. And that's why they had to bring people in so that they could keep tabs on us. That was the whole point. Tell us one thing, go back and do another. The real snitching. Oh, no. See, we can't have that. That's why these are the people that never really left the slave plantation. That's what we're trying to tell you. They've been snitching since they created the boule. Snitching. Oh, this is what's going on. This is what they're doing. This and this and this and this. Oh, no. That's why Marcus Garvey, who decided I'm not going to play this game with y'all, went off script and they kicked him out of the country. Oh, no, you can't do that. And his redemption, want to know this? Create chaos in Jamaica. A lot of I loved what he did, but then he still did his part, okay, to not allow, why, Jamaica didn't even get to unify. You see, you got to understand, once you work for the snake, you can't stop working for the snake, period. If you stop working for the snake, he's going to take you out or make you so ashamed that you wish you would have never double-crossed him. That's the point. Okay? Now, I don't want to go too much longer, but the reality is, people, you cannot assume that because you hear what you hear, that is the way it's supposed to be. And now, thanks to the Most High having people bring it out, hey, no, this is nothing new. This is coming back from way back. This right here, it's all like QB is saying, is way back. This right here, they're doing payback from way back. This is the payback, people. This is that whole, we're not going to let you go. Pharaoh's not going to let you go, and they're going to make it harder on you. This is why you will now see the massive plagues that they can't stop. Because the Most High is going to turn the tables right now. It's about to turn. And see, this is not the time to panic or worry about these things, because it's saying right here. Let's go down. He exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and he causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven and the earth in the sight of Muntus. This is why Isaiah said in Matthew 44, be ye not deceived, that he may even try to this. Many Christs will come in my name and will deceive the elect. Okay? And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Do you want to know one of the miracles that was done? What Constantine said, lying sign and wonder. Oh, by this sign I go forth and come. Okay. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast. See, this is what many Christians don't understand. What could look like a miracle of the Most High could very well be a miracle of the beast. Pay close attention to what I'm telling you. This is exactly what Simon the sorcerer was doing, okay? That he should make an image. Okay? He had power to give life unto the image. And this is why even as Yah and other people are trying to say, because you have lack of familiarity of knowledge of the real Tata nZambi, you can still be deceived when you keep the Babylonian mindset. You're going to be misled. You're going to believe what they tell you. You're going to continue with the ultra plan that they put on the whole society, not just their people that go into the ranks. You have been, the fact that you were sleeping and you're awake says you were under MK Ultra. And many people still are. That's why it's like the Matrix is telling you this is the MK Ultra. And the only way to defeat it is in the spirit world. This is the key. Your fight in the spirit world defeats the Matrix. You have to go into a spiritual warfare to free your mind from the Matrix. That's what they were trying to show you. You die in the Matrix, you die for real. That's why that death they're talking about is you go to Sheol forever. That's what they meant. You die in the Matrix, you die forever. You don't die in the Matrix, you save your soul, you go to Shione. That's why it was called Zion in the movie. Hello. Okay. And then it says, now listen. And he causes as many as would not worship the image beast should be killed. So here's what's happening. Those of us who are now in this resistance to continue with the delusion that everybody has been placed under, they're coming after us. You don't want to bow down before Nimrod anymore. You don't want to recognize those of us who will sleep. You don't want to cooperate with Tammuz anymore. It's time for you to go. We have a problem with you. This is the protection that the Most High is giving us to prepare us for this time. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right and in their foreheads. Okay? Hello? You have been blindly brought to this. And you don't even see it. And I was laughing because they've been attacking the Masonic pastors that have been saying it to try to tell you what it is. But then the world science say, oh no, pastor, that can't be, no, people dying, you see. But then the nZambi's trying to say, hey, you people of this earth, I turned the earth over to the hands of the wicked when my people decided to become the bride of Satan. This is what the real, let me tell you something. Even when the devil worshipers do it, they don't even realize everybody already is the bride of Satan that continues to be stuck in the system of the beast. You already are. This is the way they play both sides. This is how they masquerade. And again, what is this? The fallen false Messiah do? Lying, signs and wonders, miracles of all kinds. That's why Elias said, you have to know to recognize one who truly comes from the Most High with power and wonders is that he cannot raise the dead because he has no souls to give. This is why you've not seen one pastor in anybody's church that I'm aware of raise anybody from the dead. They're always going to the funeral. When did they raise anybody from the dead? And if they did attempt to do it, in many cases, they have proven it was false. But there have been bona fide people that raised people from the dead. Kimbangu and Toko and Padi were one of those people. There's other prophet people as well, as we've been made aware of. And this is what you must know. Okay, I'm almost done. I know I shouldn't talk too long. That what you are facing now, okay, is the understanding that the protocol is going into effect of completely separating you from Tata nZambi and Pungu Tulendo. And it came in the form of something that's going to shock people. It was already there. They're just announcing it now. I'm not going to get into too much details on that, okay? Because again, they'll say, oh, you're giving out false information, okay? But you're going to find out what this variant is in fact what they say it is, and more, but not for the reasons that you think. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Again, this is the protocol against, this is more protocol against the children of Isolele that they cannot let the sheeple be aware of, that they have always been hating us. They cannot expose, they cannot, this cannot be revealed until the Most High shows you, when he's going to force them to say, you know who you were messing with. Okay. And that's why they don't ever want you to comprehend this scripture. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let me tell you, this is where you can tell there was no J. 16. For if thou shalt acknowledge the determination of the nZambi to be, it says iced, east. I don't even know how you would, it's us, east, because there's no J. Thou shalt be received thy son in time, and shall be recommended against women. Go thy way into the city to thine husband. Okay, this is a scripture where there was an incident where he was showing the pains and sorrows to represent what we're dealing with. Okay, and he was doing actually a comparison to us. It says in 23, and which is the greatest of all, the seal of Shioni has now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. There you go. And this is what happened even in the Medes at that time, and this has happened again. We are delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Who delivered you? The Most High did. And therefore shake off thy great heaviness and put away the multitude of sorrows, that the mighty may be merciful unto thee again, and the highest shall give thee rest and ease from thy labor. Now, and it came to pass while I was talking to her, behold, her face upon a sudden shine exceedingly, and her countenance glistened, so that I was afraid of her and mused what it might be. So like you said, once the Most High starts to lift off the heaviness, you will start to shine, and they don't want that. This is what's happening. As the Most High is lifting off the heaviness of Yisolele, we are beginning to shine. They're like, oh no, we got to put this down quick. And this is the whole point. Okay. Let's go to, and of course, this is their talking. The Malekis and the city, of course, is building, okay? Now, actually, this is the second temple that he's talking about that was built, that got destroyed by the Romans, okay? But now we know, again, that there was a prophecy even here that it would happen in the future. And I'll tell you where. So then he goes to the next chapter. And he says, then I saw a dream. And there came up from the sea an eagle with 12 feathers, wings, and 3 heads. Now, this is the future. This is what you don't understand. This is why they didn't want you to read it. This is going to show you that we were going to be dealt with again. Okay, this really represents Rome in 3 parts. So if you really want to know how they did this in the United States and didn't tell you, this is really what the 3 branches of government refer to: the president, the executive branch, and the executive branch. And it's also, the branches are like they're representing the tree of life to you, but they're also the 3 heads of the eagle. And saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds and air blew on her and were gathered together. And behold, out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. But her heads were at rest, and the head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Moreover, I behold, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and reigned upon the earth over them that dwelt therein. Okay, this is Rome. Okay, this is what he's seeing. So he's going to tell you how the eagles, under the eagle, smaller nations would rise and fall until, and then eventually he says, let's see, when does the, okay, so then it says, after this, behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, or the little feathers, and there was no more upon the eagle's head, but 3 heads that rested in 6 little wings. Okay, if you've ever seen the emblem for America with the olive branches, and this is exactly what this is. Then saw I also the 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6, and remained of the head that was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. So again, this is where you're going to see the breaking off to create the different variations. And lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves and have the rule. And behold, lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. Okay, Now, this again is the rise and fall of the different, you got the Byzantine Empire, you got, the old French, these old, empires. And then he's going to say, and then they thought, behold, there awake one of the heads that was at rest, namely was amidst, that it was greater than the other two heads. And I saw that two other heads were joined with it, joined, and then no J, telling you, told y'all. And behold, the head was turned with them, or with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that have rain. But this is going to show you in the kingdom of Shaitani, okay, they devour one another. This is exactly what we're saying, and they increase. But of course, the Most High, he says, I cause nations to rise and fall. I knock down, they build back up. It's part of that. After this, I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more. Okay, this is the end of the Roman Empire. However, this empire was divided among the two heads. One would become the Holy Roman Empire, and the other head is the Knights Templars, the Freemasons. Okay. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it, and was upon the left side. Then I heard a voice say unto me, look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And lo, it was a roaring lion. This is Isaiah. This is Simba Wayuda saying, chased out of the wood. And I saw he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times they might come through them? See, this is the remainder of the four beasts. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. Okay, so now we know that each beast actually represented and was also embodied in the Toko and Padi and all the others, that when Daniel spoke of it, that this would be the beast that would enslave Isolele. This is what Daniel saw. This is why we went into slavery under the eagle. And forth came all the beasts that was past and power over the world. Because see, I want to let you in on a little secret. And this is the way people don't understand. You had those of us that were still being enslaved by Rome after the fall of Jerusalem. But there were those who dwelt in the Congo that were set up. Okay, this is how they knew who we were. We had people scattered even when he made the covenant. Okay. For the earth that now judges, it says right here, I don't know how you would say this word. Ujid, judges is judges was the J, but it's Ujid, Ujid, I don't know. If somebody knows better than me, let me know. And over the whole compass of earth made wicked oppression, so long time dwelt upon the earth with deceit. So they're telling you, this eagle represents the destruction of the world by those who work in wickedness. Now understand, if he's talking about an animal, it represents people under this animal. Okay. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. So he's showing you, this is what I try to tell you, the two-headed eagle, now the one-headed eagle, has no enemies. This is where they lie, except that nZambi. Therefore is thy wrongfully dealing upon into the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Now, this is the future prophecy. Now, remember, it talked about this, and of course, this didn't happen until the head, I forgot it said, there was only supposed to be, and lo, the head upon the right devoured that was upon the left side. So now there's only one head left. This is how the other head was absorbed into the entire system that you now live under with different parts. Okay, and he's saying to this one-headed eagle, your time is going to come to an end when the fulfillment, and it's about once the abominations are fulfilled, and behold, they are ended. So now this is why you're dealing with all of this shift, because the abominations are being fulfilled. And they said, therefore appeared no more the eagle, nor the terrible horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. And this verse is the reason why they are coming hard after us, because they know this is talking about the country that now is the #1 in the world today. This verse is to the United States of America right here, because the eagle was also a symbol of Rome. But they know they absorbed Rome. Rome and America absorbed as one. Okay, this is why they honor the Pope so much, even though there's supposed to be separation of church and state, as they say. Okay, and this is the whole concept of what now is the contingency plan, as they now know time is up. The time he has given them in the warning is now over. And this is the shift. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and the mercy of him that made her. So this is what we're telling you. It's not the end of the world, just the end of the violence and those who cause violence. Okay, I'm going to stop there. But like I said, people, we got to really focus now, because the end game is now in play. And you're going to see many people now become completely separated from the Most High. That's the point. And that is the intent. They're cornering us because they want all of us to be separated from the Most High, period. They don't want any of us to have that connection in this time. All right. So Kimbo, Tata, nZambi, Yama Zulu, hallelujah. And inaweza, Yahweh Kongo, Tutwala, may Tata nZambi guide and bless all your families and continue to grow in spirit and in truth. And like I said, watch this as fast as you can, because I don't know, it may not last. Ingita.